Hello everyone, my name is Matthias Grignola, and today we'll be talking to you about cloud computing. So first, a definition. Cloud computing is the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data rather than a local server or a personal computer. So what does this mean? It means that all your information is in one central place and all your devices can access that information remotely. So there's a misconception when it comes to cloud computing. The idea is that there's information just on the internet, in the clouds. Well, this is not the case. Cloud computing makes information be stored on physical servers that are in a centralized location owned by a specific service provider, for instance, Google, Microsoft, or Apple. Um, they have they have redundancies in place in case of failure. So if some servers fail, there's multiple ones that have the same information copied on it so that you will not lose your information. And they are, like Google, Apple, Microsoft, they are not the only ones that have these services for people. So in the past, we used flash drives, CDs, emails to send files back and forth, even transporting a laptop everywhere you went to have all your stuff. But now we have much more intuitive tools to be able to take information and tools with us everywhere. So the first one is a very common one, Google Drive. It has file storage and it has web apps such as Docs, Slides, Sheet, Forms, etc. It allows us to have real-time collaboration on projects. It helps with productivity. It is for free, one of the few. And it does also have a desktop client that synchronizes your files between your device and the cloud. The next one, iPhone owners will be familiar with this, is the iCloud. It used to be just to back up contacts, emails, things of that nature, but now it is a file storage service. You can also find your device, stream music from the cloud. And now, to compete with Google, it has real-time collaboration, which helps a lot with productivity. The only downside is it does require payment if you want to expand the storage. Microsoft also has an option. It's called Office Online. It does have Microsoft's powerhouse desktop apps online, such as Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Outlook, but they have limited capabilities. If you want to work with more data, you do have to download the desktop version. Like with iCloud, you have to pay to get more memory and storage, unfortunately. Dropbox is a kind of hybrid. Dropbox is a desktop client that synchronizes your local files with the files in the cloud. So whenever you update one of them, the other one automatically updates too. There are many similar services, and you can actually make one yourself with an external hard drive that connects to the internet. From your device, you can connect to the external hard drive and have both local and files in the hard drive, which is basically the idea of a hybrid. So Chromebooks are the latest thing. They're designed by Google to mainly run web-based apps, so they don't have a lot of memory storage, so you won't download a lot of things that will make your computer slow. Simple and easy to use, always reliable, and is great for educational institutions, at least in the United States and developed countries, since there's usually internet at a lot of schools. Amazon Web Services is actually the most popular cloud computing service for enterprises. It provides large computing capacity quicker and cheaper than building a server farm. So an example is Netflix. Netflix used to have their own servers, but converted over to Amazon Web Services. So now they are cutting the costs of having to pay for the land they have their servers on and utilities and maintenance for those servers. So converting to cloud-based services is a cost reduction method. So overall pros, cloud computing is easy to set up. The services are already there and working, and all you need to do is make an account and start putting your files in there and start working with the web apps. It has low maintenance on our part, since all we need, again, is an account. It is really cheap compared to physical data centers. But like I said, you have to pay taxes on the property and the building and ensure that it's all up to date and maintenance, and you have to deal with obsolescence problems. Um, Cloud computing also provides flexibility, so you can travel from all over the world. You don't have to be at your office to work on projects. Gives you security knowing that your information, even if your laptop dies, your information is still secure in the cloud and accessible from a different device. And cloud computing also offers a lot of collaboration, since like Google Drive and iCloud now have our real-time collaboration with multiple users editing documents at the same time. There are some cons, however, and security, despite it being a pro, is also a con. Due to having all the information on the cloud, there is the possibility of hackers stealing information, wiping data centers. There hasn't been anything like that on record, but know that it is always a possibility for it happening. Obviously, cloud computing does require an internet connection, so if you don't have an internet connection, you can't do anything with all that information you have stored in the cloud or those web apps that you need. And to have that internet connection, you need deep infrastructure. So you need internet, up to date mobile devices, reliable connection, things of that nature. So if you don't have that, you can't use the cloud services either. But funny enough, the number one problem is not security, but this lack of resources to implement uh, cloud services globally. Um, a study done by RightScale mentioned that if we want to have a more interconnected business world, we need to have cloud computing all over the map, all over the world, but there are just not enough resources right now to make that a reality. Cloud computing in the business world is still in transition. Only 33% of enterprises use cloud-based applications. This may be due to large corporations are slow at adapting new technologies, but it also may be due to their servers, their server farms. Enterprises have invested a lot of money into building these server farms, getting the most up-to-date technology, hiring maintenance crews. So they will not switch over to cloud-based applications until their server farms become outdated or they get their full return on the investment of those servers. But those enterprises that do use cloud computing um, have shown a lot of progress in terms of profitability and productivity because it is a great tool for collaboration. That being said, that's only for domestic use. There's an issue when you take it to the international and outsourcing. An example is Monsanto and Bangalore in India, the city. Um, Monsanto wanted to bring a project to India. However, the city of Bangalore did not have the sufficient infrastructure to handle all the cloud computing that was necessary to deliver on the job. So, in conclusion, is cloud computing a step in the right direction for global interconnectedness, or is it an easy way to hack the world's most important information? That's up to you to decide, but the fact of the matter is that cloud computing is here to stay, and it is the way of the future. So thank you for your attention. I hope you learned something about cloud computing, and I hope that you become more familiar with it as it is becoming the norm. And here are my sources. Thank you very much.